Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now I haven't been posting in a couple of days because I was a bit sick the past few days, but I'm back and I'm going to do a very quick video today. The keyword here is a quick video, and I want to start off today's video by asking you a question. Are you the kind of person who's going to save a bit more money and buy an unknown branded phone? Or would you actually save up a bit more money and buy something from a more commonly known brand? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyways, this brings me to the phone that I have today, and that's actually the Nubia Flip 5G. Now this phone just landed here in Malaysia and is supposed to be the most affordable flip phone ever. It's actually a bit of a twist there because the funny thing is that the retail price for this is RM3999, and that's the exact same price as the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5. Didn't make a lot of sense at all, but they are actually throwing up a ton of discounts. So hear me out, if you are one of the super early buyers, you'll be able to get this phone at RM2499, and I did a quick calculation that's about close to 38% off the retail price, which is just absurd because they're just throwing off more than 1,000 ringgit off, if you are an early bird. And if you are a not so early bird, that means if you buy from tomorrow onwards, it's going to be up what's the price again? RM2899, and that's about 28% off. So it's a bit of a marketing gimmick, I would say, because the price itself is 3999, but they're throwing it off at 2899 or 2499 if you are super duper early bird. Anyways, today's video is going to be based on a price where it is RM2899. Alright, so for RM2899, what are you really missing out in terms of the flip phone that you are getting from Nubia? Well, let's take a look at the device itself. Now, in terms of the display on the inside, you're actually getting a fairly decent display. It's a very large display. It's 6.9 inches. That's actually larger than the Z Flip 5. And if you put it beside any typical candy bar kind of phone today, it will be actually taller than most of those phones, but not as wide as them. So that's just to give you a bit of a perspective. It does get that 120Hz OLED display. That means everything is smooth, the contrast levels are great, viewing angles are good, and overall I would say that this is a good display, so that is not where you are missing out on. Alright, when you take a look at the processor, this is where you can see a couple of costing has been taken to cut a bit of cost. So we are having a Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. You have 8GB of RAM as well as 256GB of internal memory. Anyways, that's one of the first trade-off. Now if you move on to the second trade-off, that's actually found in the cameras on the outside. So what we have here is actually a 50 megapixel AI camera, and there's also a secondary sensor that's a 2 megapixel unit that most of you will probably not use. Now the camera itself, although it has a high resolution 50MP, but using it isn't the best experience. I would say that the photos coming off from this device here is actually very reminiscent of sort of a budget phone. I would say that it's a bit slow in my opinion. Sometimes when you take photos, when you use the selfie from the front, from the flip cover by the way, it's a bit slow and it just captures some kind of motion blur, and you really have to train yourself to wait a bit longer to actually get a proper selfie. But anyways, 50 megapixels is there in case you want to know about that. And this also brings me on to the external display. Now this external display is a 1.43 inch display, and it actually reminds me of the display on my smartwatch. So yep, very similar kind of display. It's a round one, and obviously you do get a couple of useful widgets on the outside. You can just glide through them to actually see the kind of widgets. You can jump straight into them, control your music, you can see the weather. You cannot actually reply to messages on here. You can only see your notifications because the screen is not big enough and it will not fit a keyboard in here. Alright, so it's mainly to give you a quick glance at information that you might need on the go. It really serves the purpose of actually using a flip phone because you can have a couple of quick glances without having to open the phone. And I particularly like the fact that you can take selfies with it if you are the kind of person who takes a lot of selfies. So I would say that the main trade-off here is actually in terms of the cameras themselves, because if you are paying upwards of 2,000 ringgit, you should definitely expect to get a better camera on board. But that's the main trade-off. There's also a couple of things that I do like here, and that's actually the large battery. Now what we have in here is actually a 4310 mAh battery. You do get that 33-watt fast charge, so everything's going to be a bit quicker. The build quality is also surprisingly nice. It's actually very reminiscent of the Galaxy Z Flip 5. Again, I don't want to compare them head to head, but the price does, cause them to be so close to each other. Yeah, the build quality is quite nice. I'm not sure what the exact materials are. Maybe you can let me know, is this really glass or is it just plastics? But yeah, it feels well built, and I'm not sure how long this fold mechanism will hold up, but from my first impressions, it does seem to look quite nice. Alright, so this is what I can say about the Nubia Flip 5G. Again, the question is up to you. Are you willing to save a couple of $100? In fact, more than 1,000 ringgit to get yourself an affordable flip phone? Well, if that's the case, this Nubia Flip 5G is definitely something that you might want to consider. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about the Nubia Flip 5G. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Again, appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care and stay safe. Bye bye.